Hi everyone, my name is Matt Armstrong and welcome to the very first video in this new YouTube channel I've set up. It's May of 2013 and in this YouTube channel, my Pen Habit YouTube channel and blog, I'm going to talk about fountain pens. And a lot of the fountain pen videos you see out on the internet right now come from people who are, for lack of a better term, experts. They know their way around fountain pens. I'm going to approach this a little bit differently from my side. I don't know much about fountain pens. I've only been using them for about 3-4 months, but I fell in love, and I fell in love hard with this whole fountain pen world. So this channel is going to be a combination of reviews and samples, writing samples, all that kind of stuff. But it's also going to be kind of about my experience of learning how fountain pens work, how to work with them, and discovering this whole world. So before we dive in too deeply and I start doing different reviews of some of the fountain pens that I'm going to be dealing with, I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about how I got started with fountain pens, why I like them, why I use them, and we'll wrap this video up, and then in the next video I'll start talking about individual pens. So little background of my story. I moved to the Seattle area, which is where I live now, back in 2007. And so it'll be 6 years. It's actually just over 6 years now that I've been living here. I really like this area. I plan on staying for a good long while. Shortly after I moved here, my parents, who live in Utah, decided to come up and visit me. And while we were here, we did the touristy thing and we went to Pike Place Market. If you're familiar with Seattle, that's the big outdoor market where they throw the fish and they've got all kinds of stuff. At Pike Place Market, there is a booth called the Market Pen Maker, and a man by the name of Barry who makes pens, turns pens out of wood and other materials. And my dad, who's always been he's always been a fan of fountain pens, not a fanatic like I have become, but just, he enjoys writing with them, got a pen. And basically every time since then that someone from my family has come up to visit, we stop by Pike Place Market, and one of the first places we go is the Market Pen Maker and pick up a pen from Barry. I think between us now, between all of us, we've purchased probably 9 or 10 pens from him. And they really are beautiful pens. Well, back in February of this year, so just a few months ago, I got an itch to start doing some writing by hand. I'm a tech person. I spend a lot of time in front of a computer. I can type like 95 words a minute, some ridiculous thing like that. I've played piano most of my life, and so I'm used to moving my hands pretty fast. So typing is, I've been doing this for years and years and years, but I wanted to start writing a journal again. And so I decided if I'm going to write a journal, I want to do it right. And decided I was going to give a fountain pen a try. So one day after a class in Seattle, I went over to Pike Place and I bought this pen. You can see it here. Let it focus. And this is a pen made out of ambonia burl. It's an exotic wood from Thailand, actually, I believe is what she said it was from. It's beautiful wood, very well made, but it's a fountain pen. And I started playing around with it, used the cartridges that came, bought a couple of cartridges at Staples for the ink, and got started using it and liked it a lot. Shortly thereafter, I started noticing, though, that it wasn't writing very smoothly. I was loving using it, but it wasn't, I'd have problems with it skipping, or the ink, it wouldn't, I'd start to write and it wouldn't actually leave any ink on the paper, and I'd have to go back and, do that a few times to get it to actually leave some ink on the paper. And I wasn't sure what was going on, so one day I decided I would do a little research online. And for those of you who have been in the fountain pen world for a long time, you probably understand what I'm about to explain. But essentially what it was is I fell down the rabbit hole. I entered this whole entire world of fountain pen users and fine writing instrument users. This depth of knowledge that I had no idea existed before. And before long, I realized that I was hooked. I mean, I'd only purchased my Ambonia Burl pen, and I really, really liked it. You know, beautiful wood and well made, and I liked it a lot. But I knew I wanted to start exploring some of this and becoming involved in this whole world of fountain pen users. So a couple weeks after I got that one, I went back and I got another pen from Barry. This one is a pen made out of a wood called Cocobolo from Mexico. And I liked that one a lot. And that one I had kept around, so I started carrying 2 pens with me, and before long, I realized I had a whole bunch of pens. It didn't take very long, and I was buying pens. I found videos online from the Goulet Pen Company of Brian Goulet telling you, all the how to fill a pen and how to use bottled ink and how to clean the pens and all that kind of stuff. And I got hooked. And it's been 3.5 months, and this is kind of what my pen collection looks like now, plus, these 2. I've got 10 pens, and 2 of them are little student pens that I use for nib smoothing, which I'm sure I'll talk about in a later video. But I'm hooked. I'm completely and totally hooked. I have probably 20 bottles of bottled ink now. I have several different kinds of notebooks and papers. I've started writing letters to my grandparents who are hard of hearing, or to my grandmother who is hard of hearing and can't really talk on the phone, and to other family members. I've started pen paling. I have not missed a night in journaling in the last 3.5 months, except for a few days when I was passing a kidney stone. So I'm hooked. I've stopped taking my computer with me to work and writing notes. And there's just something about the energy of writing by hand, of actually writing out longhand, carrying a notebook and having it in front of me like that I find I remember things better. I find that I pay better attention in meetings when I'm not typing, but when I'm actually writing it by hand. And there is something very visceral and romantic about having this solid material thing in front of me instead of just bits. I've really, really come to love writing. My handwriting has improved. I've been working on it quite a bit. I've been learning about different styles of calligraphy, although I can't really do any of them very well. But in general, I'm really enjoying this whole process. So I have a lot of experience in video and music and production and things like that. And I thought, well, it would be fun for me to parlay my experience learning about fountain pens into a channel like this. So I decided that I was going to go ahead and start this YouTube channel and the blog at penhabit.com. And so what I'll be doing in the coming weeks is I'll be talking about individual pens, new pens that I get. I'll be doing ink reviews, talking about paper, doing paper reviews, and I've got the setup to start. I'm starting to get my setup together to do handwriting samples and above shots so you can see things. Making sure I'm doing color correction and all that stuff, so you get a good idea of what it looks like, and really just getting involved in the community. So if you have any questions or comments, things you want me to cover in future videos, especially if you're new and you don't really know what to ask, by all means, feel free to ask, because I may not know the answer either, but it'll be an opportunity for me to learn. And hopefully over the course of the coming years, as I continue making these videos, I will start to feel like I'm becoming a bit of an expert too. I've learned a ton of stuff in a really short period of time, and I'm really enjoying the hobby. So welcome to the Pen Habit, and stay tuned. I'm sure I'll be coming back with several videos in the not too distant future. So thanks a lot, and we will see you here next time. Bye.